Hey guys, this is Adam Henderson. Welcome to my Scrabble YouTube channel. I'm going over some games from a disastrous tournament where I went 6 and 14. That's 6 wins and 14 losses in a multi-day tournament. This was the Portland Labor Day tournament. I'd been putting this off, probably understandably. I didn't want to relive the disaster, but it had to be done. So let's take a look at these games. I was the bottom seed in a very strong tournament, so it's a little bit understandable that I would do poorly in this tournament. So the game we're going to look at today is against Steven Alexander, a very strong player. You can see he had a peak of 2071, which is amazing. He's currently rated 1813, and then in WoW he's slightly rated under 1800. Excuse me. I go first in this game. And this says Newell, but it's actually WoW because there's no option yet to, or I don't know. I think the people at Woogles for some reason have something against WoW and WePo. I'm not really sure what it is. Kind of doesn't make sense to be that way. I don't know if someone in the Woogles team could explain why we don't have WoW as a lexicon option. I'd be interested in the explanation. I mean, WoW does have the slurs. I know Caesar isn't a fan of the slurs. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me too much. So I played virus here with the idea that there's a number of words that go ahead of virus that I do know. I have a anagram game, or I call it like the prefix suffix game. I've shown it on my channel a few times, but it helps me learn interesting extensions. So I've gotten pretty decent at extending words like virus. This will come into play later in the game. I need to pause so I can find this game on my phone. Okay, so I found it. And Inundate comes down. I believe that's the only bingo. Nice find. And we have a game because I drew the blank. And lots of bingos here. The top two are hearings and hag rides. I found hearings. So that's fine. And he plays Blam. By the way, looks like I'm doing really good even this early in the game because I'm ahead by, what was that, 56? That's a really good score to be ahead by on the second turn of the game. So he's gonna, it looks like he actually plays Balm here, not Blam. For 32. I wrote down Blam though. Okay, and the game is afoot. Played Woe for 40. I think that's the best play. He plays Donut. Down there. Savarin, which I wasn't sure if Savarin was a word. I wrote it down with a question mark. It is a word. I wrote it down with a question mark. I wasn't sure of it. Savarin. Let's see. There it is. My score sheets, I leave a bunch of open space so I could kind of use it as like a workspace on the right side. of the score sheet. So, yeah, I did get down a bingo. So I mean, it wasn't terrible. I got down variants, but it looks like there was some other better plays, Nirvanas and Navarins. Actually, Navarins puts a lot of floaters out. I don't know if I like those actually. Maybe variants was best. I had Savarin, but even if I was sure of it, I wouldn't have played. Okay, just out of curiosity, it's good to know some of these definitions. A yeast cake baked in a ring mold. A lot of times it's good to know the definition just to know if it's the part of speech. In this case, it's a noun. Is Savarin. Okay. And Zoa comes down next for 28. And I think Stephen Alexander said he could give me his racks next time we play each other. So I'll have him do that so that way I can make commentary. Hopefully, when I do commentary on my opponent's rack, I'll be nice enough not to get myself in trouble, but I can be a critic sometimes. But for the time being, I'm just not going to comment on whether or not my opponent made the best play. We're just gonna focus on my plays. I think that's a good policy. Here's my rack. I played Guy for 22. I also had Mai for 10 more points. That's worth considering. It's saying it likes Guy better. Yeah, keeping GU, it's probably worth 10 points. So I like my play of Guy. Let's see here. What happens next? He plays Tap. And seems like a decent rack. Did I play mixed? Yeah, I played mixed. It wasn't too hard to find that one. That shouldn't be a difficult one for people to find. QI. So I was actually having decent luck in this game. QI for 15. I think he does catch up in this game though. So let's see. He oily E. Did I play you here? I most certainly did. I also had Yao, but I think EU is fine. All right, and then he plays goalies. So here's where he starts to catch up. Just trying to figure out where goalies comes down. And this is a natural. So he had a better play here of soilage. So I should be very happy he didn't find soilage. This is a big mistake on his part. So that was a 23-point miss. I think that may have been cost him the game there. So goalies comes down. So I missed Rosalie. I only played Oily for 16. That removes some bingo lanes, or at least one bingo lane. It makes the other bingo lane a little bit trickier, maybe. I don't know. A lot of ease left, so maybe that's still pretty easy to hit. Which he does hit with Reeking. And now he's actually ahead, which is not what I wanted to see. And then, yeah, that looks like an O to me. So I believe this is my rack. And I did have some plays that were score over 30. Oof and Loof, which I wonder why I didn't play those. I must have saw those. I opted to play Fro instead. Where did Fro play? Where do I play Fro? Okay, I played it up here. I can't really explain the logic of this play. I don't know what I was going through in my head. It looks like maybe because Loof scores 34, it looks like Loof scores 8 more points. I can't see how that could not be the right play. So if I saw it, I don't understand why I wouldn't just make that play. There may have been some other tricky thing I was thinking of that I'm not thinking of now. Yeah, I'm not sure why I made this play. This seems very strange to me. Maybe I just missed that spot, but that seems kind of strange that I would miss that spot down there. So he plays Junta. And then I have Cowbile. And what do I play here? Block. So Block isn't on the top 6 plays here. Block scores 21. So all these other plays above here score more than 21. So that one's too dangerous. I can see why I would play Block instead of Blow, because there's another C unseen, and keeping the C in an endgame is not great. So I kind of like Block better than Blow. Yeah, I can see they're just not. Yeah, I think Block is fine here. It may not technically be best, but I think it's a reasonable play. Keeping the W in an end game seems reasonable. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I played Block. That seems strange to me. Yeah, I don't know why I played. What was I going for? Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Um, actually, I'm pretty sure Rio Virus was on my mind already, but I don't know because I saw. So I was trying to keep the E and the O, but I wasn't finding any way to do it. So that's why I ended up playing Block. Okay, that's very strange. I couldn't figure out a way to keep the E and the O because Rio Virus was on my radar. Um, and actually, after the game, Steven told me he was actually also fishing for Rio Virus at the spot in the game. Is Neo Virus also good? No, just it becomes souvenir. Okay. I don't know. There's subvirus. I don't think there's a whole lot of 3-letter extensions to virus. I think most of them are longer. So he plays Tet next. And the score is 380 to 377. And here I stopped recording my racks, but it looks like this may have been my rack, maybe. No, I still had the W. Okay, and then I would have had one other letter. Okay, I'm confused here. How did he? Oh, okay. So he just had the D at the end. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Sep was his next play. I'm trying to figure out what. Okay. Okay. So this was my rack. Okay. So here I played Rio Virus, which actually scores worse than these other plays here, which is surprising. Wife actually scores 1 point less. Anyway, I played Rio Virus. I thought maybe he wouldn't know the word. Of course, he was also fishing for it. He plays Sep. And he plays, or I play If. And then he goes out with Kid. And the final score was... So I win by 24 here. I think I was around the amount that he would have gotten by playing Soilage instead of goalies. So that was a big miss on his part. I'm pretty proud of how I played in this one. I liked finding the Rio Virus play, even if there were other plays that were at least just as good. And yeah, if you have any thoughts on this one, otherwise just give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next one. So I finally won a game. Take care.